Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Vintage Breaks without Leighton Sheldon. I mean, Leighton's Loft without Leighton Sheldon, at least for now.
For now, he's just finding parking. We're a full staff here in the office there. Believe it or not.
He doesn't have a parking spot?
Nah, I took his parking spot. Listen, whoever's here every day gets that lucky parking spot.
Oh, see, you get on him for not being there every day. I like it.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not hearing this. But welcome, everybody. This is Leighton's Loft. Leighton will be with us shortly. Is from 4:30 to 5:30. We are going to be talking about a little about everything. Entertainment, sports, life, investing, cryptocurrency apparently is big right now. Yeah. So we'll be talking about that with you, Lou. And of course, tonight, first time ever with us on VintageBreaks.com. Let me move my head. Right there, VintageBreaks.com is the one, the only Wade Boggs.
Yeah, let me move my head.
There he is.
There you go.
That famous photo right there. 2-time Gold Glove winner.
He's just really fixated on that.
Really fixated on that as he played with 2 years, the first 2 years for the Yankees, right, Dougie?
I don't know if it's first 2 years. Hang on.
Did he win his 2 Gold Gloves with the first 2 years in the Yankees?
No, it was 94.
So second and third.
Second and third.
Yeah.
93 was his first year. So second and third.
Yep. Second and third. He got those Gold Gloves with the Yankees. He is one hell of a player. And of course, you guys know that Susan Lou is a Red Sox fan. So
okay.
No hard feelings, though. It's the past. Lou said it's done over.
I think we have 4 world championships in that time. I think we're good. I can, since he left, I think we're all good.
James Gacho says, "Employee of the month gets the good spots."
Yeah. Well, at day 5, you show up every day, you get the parking spot.
Exactly. What's up, Donald? So Lou, want to tell everybody where to go to be part of the giveaways?
Yes. If you are watching us on a screen that has a chat on the right-hand side, you're in the wrong feed. You want to go to the Leighton Facebook page. We're also on the Vintage Breaks Facebook page and Vintage Breaks YouTube. And you got to find the feed that's just us, not with the chat on the right-hand side. And all of you, that's where the comments will count towards the prizes tonight. And there are some great prizes. You want to make sure you get involved. So you want to head over to the Leighton's Loft Facebook page or find the video here on the Vintage Breaks Facebook page or Vintage Break YouTube that has just us full screen, doesn't have the chat on the right. Dougie is keeping track of names, and I'm not going to tell you what the prizes are yet, but they're good. They're all the same, right? 7 are the same.
Yeah, I got you guys here. So I do have the chat for Leighton, so he'll be able to see live comments on the right-hand side.
No problem, sir.
But the only ones that count will be on the ones on the Leighton's Loft Facebook page and the ones with full screen Leighton's Loft. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
So right before we got on, we were talking about the
Wade Boggs 2 Gold Gloves. That's what.
No. What's the rule? The facial hair rule that the Yankees have.
Oh, that the Yankees had. Yeah.
Yeah. So according to Yankee policy, my mustache is exactly where it should be. Any further down, and I will get fined.
Is that how it works? You get fined until you shave it.
Wow.
That was the line at the mouth.
Yeah, I guess right. Bottom lip, Kentucky. Is that where it should be? Just bottom lip. It should match the bottom lip.
You would be okay with that.
I'll be okay. Yeah. So you guys know Wade Boggs has a nice mustache and beard, but when he was in the Yankees, although in that picture on the horse, it kind of seems like he has a beard going.
I don't think he had a beard with Tampa.
Maybe it's
Nick,
just a
I'll
shadow.
give you an autograph anytime, no problem. And Nick, you're on the right page.
Neil, yes, if you watch tomorrow, it should be on our YouTube page.
Oh yes. So today, because of Wade Boggs, we do have a.
I didn't do this, guys. Daniel's thanking me. I didn't get Wade Boggs here.
Oh, so we do have a Wade Boggs event, which means that we do have a bonus attached to this event. You can find it on VintageBreaks.com. It is. How can I show you? Luke, can you go to vintagebreaks.com and show on the page?
Yep. Give me a second.
Awesome. This is where we can all see it together here. What's up, Joseph? What's up, Nick? All right, so perfect. Lou, if you go to the top left and hit all products, and then just on the search bar there, put Boggs.
Where's the search bar?
Left hand side.
Okay.
Search it. Yeah.
Right in front of my face.
And did it go through? There we go. That green box right there.
Yes.
Yeah, click on that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is our special Wade Boggs Hall of Fame live experience. We are down to, let's just say, 50 spots. So once that sells out, we're going to be giving away a lot of prizes. We're going to start off with, once we randomize the list, it's going to be 300 spots. We randomize the list. First person on top is going to get a 1993 finest Wade Boggs refractor, PSA 9.
Ooh.
So, Louis, you click on the second picture in the middle. You click on there. Yep. There it is right there. That is the refractor in a Yankees uniform, number 12. That's a PSA 9. First place will be getting that card. Second place, I believe the next 9 prizes are all going to be autographed memorabilia. It's going to be 6 baseballs signed on the sweet spot, which we'll do some on air.
Nice.
And then 3 of his rookie cards, which is going to sign as well. After that, 11 through 18 is going to win a spot in the National Treasures 2020 First Off the Line box. We've never listed this box on the site. People love this product, Lou. It's a lot of good veteran content, signatures, memorabilia, as well, rookies as well.
I like when they mix up eras like that and put some stuff in there.
Yeah, it's fun, you know?
It's interesting, yeah.
Yeah. After that, we're going to be giving away, if you scroll down a little bit, Lou, scroll down a little bit so I can see. There it is. 11 through 18 will get a spot in that box. 19th will win a 1983 Topps Wade Boggs rookie card, PSA 9, famous card. And then 20th to 34th will win a card from a 1983 Topps baseball pack, which we can pull a Wade Boggs rookie card, Ryan Sandberg, Tony Gwynn. So that's a great year for rookies. And then 35 to 300 will all get a pack of 1989 Donruss baseball. So that is going to be an amazing bonus. We're down to 50 spots left, so if you want to jump in, this is the time. He comes on at 8 o'clock, so we're hoping to get this filled by 7, maybe 7:30 at the latest.
Yep.
So we can have everything ready for him. And, of course, Leighton Sheldon will be breaking the box and also the pack with him on air. And then, obviously, you and Leighton will be talking to him, asking some questions. And,
Ernie, I did not get Wade Boggs. I'm barely involved in this. I just get to hang out with Leighton and Wade, and so I'm happy for that. But I had nothing to do with landing him.
I like that. We do all the work and Luke gets all the praise.
I know.
I like that. I want to be in that position.
Yeah. So I didn't know. It's not me.
Okay, Lou.
That's a J5 stylus. It took a while.
Yeah, this is the bonus. So, okay, Lou, we can go back to full screen.
Okay.
Can we put that URL in the chat, Lou, or no?
Yes.
Yeah, let's put that URL in the chat if people want to jump in. This way you can go directly to it. Awesome. So that is tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I can't wait. I'm a little starstruck, I won't lie to you, because I grew up watching the Yankees in the 90s and 2000s, so I seen Wade Boggs. I didn't know what to think of Wade Boggs coming from the Red Sox.
But you've seen some things. How can you be starstruck? I mean, you've been to the National. You've seen Hall of Famers.
I don't know. Actually, I would say a little bit of starstruck, a little bit. The one I really got starstruck was Emmitt Smith. I had to hold down my emotions.
Emmitt Smith, yeah, being a Cowboys guy.
Yeah, and then seeing
You've
his
seen Ric Flair.
that's yeah.
I'd be starstruck for Ric Flair.
Exactly. I mean,
I'd be starstruck for
You
Hulk
trade-
Hogan.
As the Cowboys guy, would you trade Ezekiel Elliott for Deshaun Watson? That came up last week.
No,
Deal based around that. You would not.
I will not.
No.
I wouldn't because I like that.
As a team without a quarterback, get the quarterback.
But we're going to South Dakota. Prescott. We are. I know we are.
Don't lie to yourself, John.
I'm not lying to myself. It's fact. It's gonna happen.
You're not getting Prescott unless he's willing to sign for about $25 million, which I don't think he is.
I mean, I will give him 28. I don't know about 20.
Okay. All right, fine. All right. Yeah.
28 would be good. All right. So Leighton is
Gus
here.
is asking. It's going to be on the Vintage Breaks feed on YouTube and Facebook. Yep.
It's our regular show, guys. After Leighton's Loft is over, you'll see one link left on your YouTube channel. That's the one you want to jump onto after 5:30. I'm not going to tell you guys the top 7 prizes. I'll let Leighton do that. But he's almost ready. He's just getting some things.
Everyone here in the chat is talking to Doug. I don't know what's going on here. Doug's the star of the show.
Dougie, where?
Yeah,
On the-
everybody in the chat is talking to Doug.
Andy Bertano says Dak is not the answer. The sooner the Cowboys figure that out, the better. At least give him a year of being healthy.
Yeah, Chris Coe says trade him. You have Tony Pollard as a backup.
He's okay. I don't know if he's all around. He's not a workhorse.
Yeah.
He's a little fragile. I won't lie to you.
You can get running backs, and Ezekiel's only going to be viable for 3-4 more years.
I would say 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Give or take. But to get rid of him, to get Watson, unless we go running back in the draft, but
Ernie thinks the Bears are getting both Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. I don't think that's happening, but okay.
nah. What's up, Chris Coe? Chris Coe's in the house. I just assumed the Boston connection was how Boss came.
Mitch Trubisky. That name's floating around up here too, and it just makes me ill.
Trubisky?
Yeah.
Did he retire? or is that what we want? We want him to
Did he
retire.
or should he?
I don't want Trubisky anywhere near the Cowboys.
No, Daniel. I had nothing to do with Boggs coming to VB.
If you give me Trubisky, in return, I'll give him I don't know, a Gatorade. What do you call the drink container? Where you put the Gatorade in?
Gatorade bucket.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
All right.
You give us Trubisky, we'll give you a Gatorade bucket. That's an even trade. That's an even trade with no Gatorade.
Greg, congratulations. We got one guy in the COVID shot. So
Yeah.
Congratulations, Greg.
Trade that to the Bears for Mitch T. Shit, I'm even trade. Oh, stop it, Chris. Can you ask Wade Boggs about his legendary beer drinking stories? No, Jim. There'll be no talking about alcohol on the show. It's family friendly, so no talking about drinking.
As I told somebody today, this is not 60 minutes. We're just going to talk to Wade and have fun. And
Yeah, we could talk fried chicken. That's
we
fine.
could talk fried chicken, yeah.
Yeah, but no, nothing about alcohol.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger's another one. Roethlisberger in it with the star on his helmet, huh?
Big Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, if you give him a walker, sure. Give him a walker, he'll be a starting quarterback for the Cowboys. Yeah, sure.
He's really a chicken, man.
Yeah. What's up, Logan Ward? Remember when you opened up Flawless and we got Mitch T auto patch? That's the ultimate insult. I'd rather have 10 redemptions than fulfilled than Mitch T.
Redemptions.
I do remember that. That was awful.
Yeah, Boggs with the fried chicken. Yeah, that might come up.
Talk about this and how to give it.
Not yet. That's all on you. That's all you.
Well, I thought you were
There's
going
gonna be-
I know.
There's a lot of work for Wade tonight. It's only a half an hour. We got to open some packs. We got all kinds of
I
stuff.
know we're all excited about Wade today.
It's a very tight schedule.
Hey, I was going back watching.
He teased me. You see that?
He's like-
He teased
like I was
me.
excited.
He started talking. I'm like, oh, he's about
He
to
just
switch.
did to you what
Yeah.
you do to us then.
Yeah. Like, John, you know what happened? What happened? And he just walks away.
He just walks away.
I'm like, oh, okay. We just fell in the blank.
Oh, Vintage Breaks Just Collect Fantasy Football League. What do you think, J5?
Jam-packed show.
That'd be interesting. Good? Okay. All right, Leighton is ready. I'll switch. I'll talk to you later.
I like it, Merrick. That's a good idea. We should get that started.
You wear a white T-shirt? I couldn't find any.
That's what I said.
You were the only breaker who wore a white T-shirt except for Ben.
That's really upsetting.
I try to.
Hey, I tell you, I went through great effort in my home. Great effort in my home to make sure there was one.
You got a viewer's name on my shirt now. Come on, you gotta get the audience
I don't
involved.
have a white shirt. I went with the next best thing.
Hold on 1 second, Lou. Sorry.
No problem.
Lou, it's Happy Days here today, man. I got the white T-shirt on.
I know. What the hell happened there?
You gotta talk to the staff, man. Half of them are wearing the vintage breaks. They got me looking like I slept in the street last night.
It's
They're like, don't shave, wear a
2021.
white T-shirt. Sure, sounds freaking great.
It's 2021, not 1958. Okay.
By the way, it's not like we're having a Hall of Famer later, 3,000 hit club member, World Series winner, freaking hysterical dude, all around good guy at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And by the way, of course, I didn't think about it. Maybe I should bring a change of clothes. Nope, didn't do that. Some Boggs is going to come on and say, wow, man, like what era do you live in? Like, what kind of music do you listen to and stuff?
J5 seems to be fixated on his 2 gold gloves. I don't know what's going on there, but.
Well, he told me I can't really talk about that stuff on camera. It's not really comfortable.
Okay.
What's up, Connor? What's going on, Chris?
Fair enough.
Matt, Neil, Tyler, the rest of everyone who's tuning in today for the Leighton's Loft podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate J5 filling in. Of course, big news here tonight at Vintage Breaks is 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to have Mr. Wade Boggs joining us to talk a little baseball, rip open some packs, have a good old time. And, I was just reliving some of the 96 glory. As for me, as a college kid and, the Yankees winning it, I definitely remember Boggs riding the horse, but I don't remember this interview that he did a couple years ago, I guess with Michael Kay, Coney, and Paul O'Neill in the studio when they were covering a Yankee game. And they asked Boggs basically because I was trying to find info on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, how did it happen?
Of course.
And he said 2 things. One, I thought the fans were going to charge the field, and they really didn't. They just stood up and gave us applause, which, I know you're not a Yankee fan, but at the time, Lou, the Yankees had gone through a really long stretch of ineptitude, forget about winning a title, just not being a good team.
Right.
And I think myself included, like I said, I was a little bit younger at the time, but I think there was a lot of emotion for that. And then also for myself and the younger kids who had lived through the Donnie baseball era, it was really sad that on the one hand, bittersweet that the Yankees won, exciting, but on the other hand, Donnie baseball retired the season before and missed out on that magical run.
Did you see my background?
I did. No, it's awesome. So basically they asked Boggsy, hey, how did you end up riding the horse? And I appreciated his candor. He's like, dude, I don't fucking remember. And he didn't curse. He's like, I don't remember. I just remember, all I know is I thought people were going to, be storming the field. And, next thing I know, I'm in the center field doing the victory lap and I'm on the horse. Yeah. And it's really funny because it's almost like in wrestling, like he had a hand on, let's say, the cop's left shoulder and exactly. And then he would switch. He would put his right hand down and then he would go like this. Dude, it was awesome, man. I was just reliving it for a few minutes on the way in, listening to it. And then I watched it. It was like a 3-minute clip. It was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. Yeah, I watched it a little while today, too.
My brother Merrick is on. So, Merrick, if you are just tuning in, my brother Merrick is asking, where is my seat? We're going to get to that in just a little bit. I was at Game 6 in the 96 World Series. A lot of folks have like a stub, right? Or some other memento that, they have from the stadium that day. Candidly, a stain, like a mustard stain on your shirt. Sure. Or as my brother Merrick is watching, like our dad would eat peanuts. And it was really weird. He wouldn't clear them off. It was like a barber doing your hair. Like some people, are real finicky. They want the hair off them. My dad just let all the peanut shells sit on his lap until he would get up to go to the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah, I know, like a whole bag, pound and a half of peanuts.
Why not? Yeah. No, didn't even have to get him to the floor. Just on his lap was good.
He didn't care. Yeah, no, like, Dad, you're a savage. Yeah, he didn't care.
I remember sitting at a minor league game, working the minors, and had my son with me. He was young, and he was sitting beside me, and we had the peanuts, and they're all over the floor. They're just all over the place. And this little girl, about 6 years old, turns around and looks down at the floor and looks at me and shakes her head like, "What a mess you're making."
Oh man, so we're really excited. Hey, what's up, Neil? Thanks. We're super pumped about Boggs tonight. Sorry, did I cut you off, Lou?
Nope, we're okay.
Oh, I didn't know if it was. Sometimes the video throws me off. It's lagging. It's very strange. So anyway, I thought
Merrick,
we would.
by the way, wants to do a fantasy football league for Vintage Breaks. So.
Who does?
Merrick brought that up.
Oh, I know he does. I'm sure. Okay. I was like, what's going on? J5 he's confusing me. I got to watch my back around here. I put that 89 Pro Set Jordan type card, and like it's gone. You got to be careful.
How is he in your parking spot? That's what I want to know.
It's just one of those where there's certain things you're willing to sacrifice, and I don't. Listen, try to go with the flow.
Yep.
What's up, Jim? Shout out to Karma. I was listening to my YouTube live CD on the way in today. So anyway, I want to show off a couple of the items that are going to be in the Wade Boggs break today.
All right.
Later tonight at 8:00. How many spots are left, Doug?
In the Wade Boggs event?
Yeah.
We are down
39 spots.
39.
All right. So 39 spots left. In the Wade Boggs event, it's $29.50. If you buy a spot into the event, you're guaranteed to get something. So you might get a card, for example, from National Treasures, first off the line 2020 baseball box. We've never offered that before. First off the line is more expensive and much more difficult to find. You may win a 1993 Finest Refractor Wade Boggs PSA 9.
Yes.
Which is a really nice card from a very desirable set. Hey, what's up, Dom? What's going on, Donald? You might win a Wade Boggs rookie graded PSA 9. There's a half dozen baseballs he's going to sign for us. One of each rookie card, Topps, Donruss, and Fleer. Check out the site at vintagebreaks.com. There really is, a few dozen spots left. 36 or 39 spots, you said? 39 spots. And today on the Loft, I don't know, J5, did you already reveal the prizes? All right. So today on the Loft, we've reserved 7 spots in the Wade Boggs break for our Breakamaniacs, for our Vintage Breaks community. And of course, it's sponsored by Vintage Breaks and Just Collect and OTS Sports. So tune in tonight at 8:00. If you are watching today's Leighton's Loft podcast, you will have a chance to win a free spot. One of 7 free spots we'll give away on the show today, Lou. At the end of the show at 5:30. Only way to qualify is to participate on Leighton's Loft Facebook page in the chat. Say hi. Let us know what you picked up over the weekend or what you're bidding on or what you're hoping to get in your next break. And you'll be entered and have a chance to win one of 7 spots in the Wade Boggs live break experience with Vintage Breaks this evening at 8:00.
Oh, it's going to be a blast.
Yep, it's going to be a really good time tonight. So a lot going on in the hobby. We're going to talk about PSA in just a few minutes. Before I do, I wanted to give a shout out. I'm not sure if who's watching of my friends, but my buddy's kid James is in it, as well as Joseph and Max, as well as my other friend's son Jed. So we got a lot of friends and family that are going to be in the Wade Boggs live break experience tonight. So it's going to be a really good time. Hopefully, maybe if Boggs is feeling good, he'll give us like a behind the scenes story with the 96 team. Now, my question, Lou, is because my brother's referring to this. So I have a piece of memorabilia from that game. Am I better off waiting to reveal it? I've showed it off once before on, Vintage Breaks, whether it be on the Loft or some other time. Should I wait till later to bring it back, or should I bring it back now to talk about? You let me know what you think is best.
Bring it back now, because you have a very tight schedule with Wade tonight.
Oh, I do, and I tend to talk and make things longer. So, all right, well, hold on one second. It's right here.
Yep. Wade Boggs tonight at 8 Eastern.
I don't know if you've ever heard the story, but we'll hear it now. So, John, how do we switch the camera? Just a little eyeball? Great. So, Lou, if you can you show off what I have in front of me?
Yep, we're up. What is that? Oh, I know what that is. I think
this is the number 4. This is my bleacher seat from the 1996 World Series Yankees champions that I will tell you the whole story right now. By the way, this graffiti is not for me. I do not have psychotic tendencies. This was just there before. This was put there by me, the date.
Sure.
Back then, by the way. This is not fresh paint.
Yep.
And granted, you have no way of knowing if I was there or not. I can tell you, I have a hell of a tale about
I was
that
going to
day.
ask you if it's authenticated. That's
I can authenticate it by her name is Nicole.
Oh.
She still lives in Jersey. She's now married. I went with her. 2 friends of hers who candidly I couldn't. That's not true. I think I know one of their names. But we got stuck in the Lincoln Tunnel on the way home, so we could work our way backwards. But it's about 3:30 in the morning by the time we get moving. So I arrive at my fraternity. Oh, I don't know, about 4:30 in the morning at Rutgers College in New Brunswick, and I literally run through like a fucking lunatic. The Yankees won the series, and I have my fucking seat, and I'm showing everyone. They're like, "You're a moron. It's a piece of plastic. Go back to bed." They were pretty pissed.
What is the Bronx like after the half an hour after the Yankees?
I will tell you this. Here's the deal. What the Bronx is usually like is not a place that I'd want to be.
Right.
And I'm just, being forthcoming here. But that night, and I'll tell you, man, it was pretty cold. I remember the jacket I was wearing. It was a triple fat goose Jets jacket. My mother bought it for me. I just remember it because it was big enough to like basically put the seat underneath my jacket. Because when I walked out, it was hot. I was really worried.
Yeah.
I'd be like, son, you can't take that with you.
Right.
Here's the thing. There was literally
the best thing that happened to you.
Lou, there was pandemonium.
Yeah.
But this is what was great. You got into the streets, and I'll tell you, man, it was like a scene out of a movie. It didn't matter who the fuck you were. People were hugging each other. Realize this is pre-COVID.
Yeah.
People would shake hands. They were hugging, and like random people. It was unbelievable, man. I'll never forget it. And so we were there probably celebrating for a good hour afterwards in the streets. And they're not selling any liquor, at least legally anymore.
Right. Yeah.
At that time of night. But anyway, I remember like thinking with all my dear life, like I wanted to hang on to the seat. So I was really excited to have not only this memento from the day, but like I've shown it to Crosby. He doesn't really understand what it is. He thinks it's a piece of junk. And to be fair, in many ways it is, but to me it's priceless. By the way, I've had offers for it.
I bet. Sure.
And for whatever it's worth, if you research, here it is, Ben. I know you're looking to see. So our folks on Instagram are checking it out. This is my bleacher seat from Game 6 of the 1996 World Series, where the Yankees clinched 4-2 over the Braves. Yanks were down 2-0 to start that series. A lot of people were, locally were just like decimated and thought there was no way they could pull it off. So anyway, back in the day, no one really cared about this kind of thing. Yeah. And what I remember specifically why I was able to get it is like it was a little bit loose when I first sat down. And then, by the end of the game, after how many beers, like you're just kind of doing a lot of stomping with your feet, like, let's go, Yep. And so by the time Hayes catches the final out on the third base line for the Yankees to clinch, like no exaggeration, even though I wasn't really thinking value, like this thing was on the verge of coming off.
Yep.
So I'm like, I got to leave with this piece. And so I did whatever I could with basically like my hands and my feet to try to pry it off. And I'll tell you, I don't think I'm the only person that day that did that. And I'll tell you why. Okay. I had a streak in college it was in college and a little bit afterwards, probably about 6 or 7 years. I made it to every Yankee opening day.
Oh, nice.
And so that's one of the things that I wouldn't say regret, but as you get older, you understand, Lou, you can't maybe do everything you want anymore.
Right.
So I can't go to Yankee opening day every year now. So anyway, I went 1997 opening day. I don't remember who they played, but I remember I went with the girl, Catherine, if you're listening. No, I'm kidding. I'm not married now, but you can find me on social media.
Nice. That's what Facebook is there for.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, she's happily married. So as far as I believe, that's what social media is for, Lou, right?
Yep.
Just kidding. So anyway, getting back to center here, I go to opening day. It's not great weather, but we sit in the bleachers again. And I'm like, Lou, I'm looking all around. There's no more blue seats.
Oh.
They went completely to silver benches. Now, I can't imagine it was only me who did this, but I got to have some brothers and sisters out there, and some friends that maybe did something similar. So if there's any 96ers out there that took their bleacher seat, I kind of want to start a club. Let me know.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But I thought what was really cool, Lou, all the years, and I realize it's not Ruth, but it is Gehrig's number. It made it a little bit sweeter for me. And, you know, I realize it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye, as honestly, I've never really tried to read it.
Well,
you know,
it's fine. It's a piece of memorabilia. It's a link to history.
It's a link to history, that's for sure. And that's about it with that. But I wanted to show off a collection that we just purchased the other day.
Get Wade to sign it.
Wow, Lou, that's a great idea. So it's funny. I already have an item that I'm going to ask if I can get signed. So we're giving away a Wade Boggs refractor today during the Wade Boggs live break experience with us tonight at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have an offer in on a PSA 8 right now on eBay. And as I mentioned, Ben, I'm going to try to resurrect my interest in collecting the set of 93 finest refractors signed. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, you know, only insane people do that. I realize that, but it's okay. Yeah. So I have Charlie Huff. I have Rob Dibble. I have a couple others, but definitely Boggsy would be my biggest.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I actually reached out to the buddy who set me up with Boggs for tonight to see if I should ask on air or if it's something we should kind of do behind the scenes. But I would like to have a 93 finest refractor signed Boggs in my collection. I'm looking forward to that. All right. So, Lou, the other day on Facebook, Ben, did you see this? We put up some Tupperware.
Yep.
So we put up some Tupperware, and the reason why we did is because a father-son, J5, they were from Virginia or West Virginia? South Virginia. Okay. All right. So we'll just say Virginia. Yeah. So J5 is getting very technical with me.
Well,
I appreciate it. So, Merrick, I hope you're still watching, but I did show off the seat. I'm looking to see in the chats. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, he said you went to see Oakland. McGuire homered off Mariano to tie the game.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So anyway, folks, we put up some Tupperware the other day, and, you know, J5 sometimes, like, he has long discussions with folks. Sometimes, like, they last months. So I stopped bothering him about every deal because it's like the same thing every day. And by the time I get to the end of the discussion, and you know, it's too long, too much time has expired.
But you learn patience. This is a good thing.
Exactly. So, you know, he says to me, "Hey, Leighton, it's the day after the big event. Do you want to come into the office?" And I said, "Sounds like a loaded question. Like, do I want to come into the office, or is there some reason you're trying to ask me if I'm going to be in the office?" And so I said, "Well, you know, I could probably work from home that day." And he said, "Well, you know, I think I can get these folks to come down with their Jordan rookie. He had looked at it a little while back through an image, and they'll come down at noon the day after the big event." And so, you know, we talked about it. I figured, sure, why not? Anyway, they came down, what, for 12 or 12:30?
Yep. Actually, 11:30. That's when the truck.
I was going to say that, but okay. Now, did they come down the day before, or?
No. They started driving early that day on Monday.
So they drove straight through?
Yeah.
What time did they leave?
I don't know. They didn't tell me.
Well, we could do the math.
Yeah.
So it took them 8 hours?
Yeah.
So a lot of times in collecting, and I was having this discussion with someone the other day, Ben, that, you know, I'm really good, I believe, at connecting with people, talking about what they have, identifying the value, right? Talking about condition.
Yep.
But then they get to the part of, hey, you know, should I get it graded, right? Should I sell it myself? And so what I'm going to do for you today, folks, is I'm going to give you information. You're going to decide what you want to do. And then, for example, one of the things I learned in our discussion, you'll just see why it's coming out. And by the way, he may be listening today. Mm-hmm. So shout out to his family. I didn't want to name them. And if he wants to say hi in the chat, you know, oh, Jason is great. Jason's in the chat. Wonderful. What's up, Jason? So, by the way, J5, you got the story wrong that Jason came down the night before. Yeah.
Well, he was focused on other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
anyway, Jason, I appreciate you tuning in today. So Jason and his father drove about 8-ish hours and, you know, decided to set an appointment with us for Monday, you know, morning. And it was the day after the event, but, you know, I was happy to make it work, even though, you know, everyone worked the grueling weekend and it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. So Jason had the good fortune that when he was a young man or a young kid, right, like myself, or similar age, Jason, myself, His father didn't remember where he bought them from, but was fortunate enough that his dad bought him some packs of 1986 Fleer basketball back in the day. And from what I was explaining to Jason, you know, I knew that you could buy 86 Fleer basketball packs, and I was already a basketball fan in 1986 as a young kid. But here's the thing, as I explained to Jason, you know, like when you're a young kid, if you hear about, for example, like I was totally into sports. I don't know about you, Lou, or you, Ben, or you, Dougie.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like if there was a hoops game down the street, you don't need mom's permission to go, right? But all of a sudden, if it's across town, you make sure, for example, the day before to do your laundry, right? To make sure that you clean the dinner table after you're done eating, because you know that you need your mom to drive you across town to make the game. You'll see how I'm going to tie this in. So with baseball cards, if I wanted 1986 Fleer basketball, I needed other people to help me because it was at Wawa on Route 9.
Ooh.
And forget about I was not allowed to ride my bike there. I honestly don't know if I would have made it.
Yep.
You know, like I was a young kid. It was a highway. It was like, honestly, I'm thinking now, I'm like, glad I didn't. I didn't know I would have made it. I've had a good run, so I'm happy. But that being said, going up, and if my brother's listening, he knows, Soda King right up the street. They had, in 86, they had Topps baseball galore. By the way, 86 Topps baseball is poop. I mean, it's got better, but like, if I had invested what I invested in 86 baseball and 86 Fleer basketball, I mean, honestly, I'd still be a card geek. I would just probably have a lot more cards. But other than that, the point is that if I wanted 86 Fleer basketball, Ben, much like if you wanted to go to that really hot basketball game across town or to play softball with your friends on the big field, but like you can't ride your bike there, you're like, oh shit, I got to bother my dad now. I didn't take out the trash yesterday. Like I got problems in my hands. So I just knew to get 86 Fleer basketball like was very, very like unlikely for me. So did I have a couple packs back in the day? Yes, but not as much certainly as I would have liked. So fast forward, Jason was fortunate enough to hang on to his collection. Or to be fair, you know, Jason can probably say it better in his own words. We'll talk about it when we write the blog, which you'll be able to find the full story about this collection on our blog at justcollect.com/blog. We'll hopefully have a quote or two from Jason and his dad. So Jason and his father drive down about 8 hours or so. They come the following morning. And if we had a poll right now, was Leighton on time for the appointment or not? I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
I would take the over. I was slightly late, you know, but I do appreciate, Jason, you and your father's patience. I actually, to be fair, right, I offered to buy them lunch. I literally took out like my cash. I said, I'm terribly sorry. I told J5, you know, please. When I came inside, I said, oh, they went out to lunch. They took me.
Wait a second. You were buying lunch late? That's how late you were?
Yeah,
I mean, that's not 5-10 minutes late. That's buying.
I was late enough to offer to buy lunch. Yes, that's true, Lou. You were smart enough to pick up on that. So anyway, we got through that. And by the way, just to add like a little, you know, mayhem to the story, if you had gone out front of our office that day, the front door, and you had made a right, you wouldn't be sitting in this chair today. You'd be dead.
Oh.
Because that day, for whatever reason or another, no one tells me anything. They really don't. I hear tremendous drilling, and I'm like, oh my God, is something happening in the neighborhood? This is terrible. And so effectively, what happened, J5?
The oil tank.
Yeah, apparently there's just an oil tank, like, you know, right there, an old oil tank. And that was the day they were doing it. See, Jason I appreciate this, Jason. He is authenticating my story. I offered to buy him lunch and his father. It was sincere. I felt bad, but I also felt bad that because they were doing some digging with the oil tanker, they had affected our company's ability as well as our guests' ability to use the restroom facility. You can imagine the start we're off to. I'm trying to meet Jason and his father. I'm trying to connect to either give them good information and or buy their collection. So here's the deal, right? We're keeping score. I hope people are finding this entertaining because this is just the truth. I don't know if it's entertaining or not, but it's just the truth. So that day I'm late, which once again, it's coming off of a long weekend where we have a great weekend and everyone's happy. But, you know, once again, I try to be timely, especially when I'm trying to do business with someone, but it just wasn't meant to be that day. It wasn't in the cards, pun intended.
Pun intended.
So I go to J5, like in the middle of the appointment, I maybe write down some notes, Jason, and you don't know this, but I say to J5 and I said, well, like normally I don't really think about peeing, but I kind of have to go to the bathroom now. Like theoretically, if I have to pee, and I mean, this is kind of gross. I said, am I supposed to like just go outside, or do I have to like go down the street to the McDonald's?
Take a shower to the Wawa.
Well, see, there you go. Ben is civil. This is good. Ben is in his second week here, and I've just found out he's civil. He went to the Wawa down the street.
That means
so do you know what I said to Jason's father? Jason can attest to this. I said to Jason's father, here's a few bucks. Go to there's a place across the street that has really good food. You know, it's like you could sit down. They only have a few seats. Buy a soda and ask him if you could use the bathroom. He said, no, it's all right. We'll wait till we get out of here. So, hey, what's up, Nick? How are you? Hope everyone is enjoying this crazy story. So anyway, I peek my head out front, and then we'll get to the cards because I got to see what's going on. And when I first peeked my head out, there was no wood planks guarding you from going outside. So I want to explain to you what was happening.
Yeah.
You literally would have perished. So I'm like looking out, and they're all shaking their heads at me like, no, you can't. I'm like, dude, I'm not. I see, I know what's going on, but like, you maybe want to be a little bit more careful too. You know, like this is kind of crazy, man. Like we get people deliveries, or like you look out the front door for a package, Uber Eats, you know, who knows, and like all of a sudden, you know, gone. Like, you know, I don't want to be, you know, too dramatic, but Jason can attest to this story. So anyway. We got down to it. We started looking at the FLIRs, and what he had told me was him and his family, they were fortunate to have retained the collection. And they had retained the collection in, you know, as good a possible shape as they could have, meaning, you know, there wasn't really like card savers then. There were certainly, you know, sleeves or pages or sheets, but, you know, I don't know that they had them on hand as they were opening packs of 86 FLIR. You know, they just probably did the best that they could to you know, take care of them afterwards.
Right.
And so he was asking for our assessment. We had done our best to give him our assessment, you know, over the computer with images, but it's not always the easiest to do that. Right. And so we explained to him that in order for us to make an offer, you know, really like a sincere offer, we would need to see the cards in person. Happy to give you our FedEx number. You can ship them in, whatever the case is. And hey, if you want, you know, you can come down, but, you know, you have to wear a mask. You know, it's all we ask. And, you know, really, in most cases, you know, we have people ship. But when I was saying this earlier about convincing people, so I am happy to give people information. I'm happy to give them values and conditions and all that kind of stuff. But what I am not willing to do, and Jason can attest to this if he's still listening, is I'm not in the business of trying to convince people that shipping's a good idea, that you should ship or you shouldn't. What I'll do is I'll give you the information. I'll tell you how to do it safely. I can't guarantee anything. But Jason and his father were very adamant. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So Jason was saying to me, and he's attesting to it now, that I was the first person other than him and his father to lay human hands on it since 1986.
Wow.
Which is really cool. You know, so I was very privileged, you know, to do so because it's a great collection. So anyway, he had been very, you know, adamant with him and his father that no matter what, we don't want to drive down or we don't want to ship them. If you're willing to take the time to meet with us, then we'll drive. And I said, J5, like, how many times did I ask you? 6 ways from Tuesday. Because I don't like people to waste their time, especially if they're driving from 8 hours away. You know, I was like, you sure? And what did you say to me, J5?
Like, yep, they're willing to drive as long as we're willing to see them. And I said, sure. If you're local, easy peasy. But, you know, as long as you're okay with driving 8 hours, okay.
And so that's straight.
Father-son road trip. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good time.
You know, it's pretty cool, Lou, that you say it like that. But I honestly, and Jason, I can't speak for you, but I think that's really the way he looked at it with his dad. That he got to basically spend some time with his dad. Maybe he took off a day at work, or to be fair, maybe he had that day off. I don't really know.
He got a pretzel at Wawa. Everything was good.
But, you know, he wanted to have someone with a lot of experience look at it. There was, by the way, we had no guarantees of a deal or anything.
Right.
There was just about getting together and chatting and meeting and then figuring out from there kind of like what we were going to do. So we're not going to go through every card, as I realize I can't believe it's 5:14. But Jason, as you know, I ran a little bit over our time when we first got together and was a bit late, a tad late to say. Well, I was a little bit late today to my own show. So we only have about 15 minutes left, so we're going to get to the rest of the story so we can talk about PSA and the increase of prices and all that kind of stuff. So Jason preserved this collection the best that he could, and as explained to him and his father when they sat with us, that you can't control, Dougie, you know this, the centering gods. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, if you're sitting there with the white gloves, Ben, you're sleeving them up right away, you don't know what's going to happen. And in 1986, candidly, like the gum might have been as important because Fleer made gum, and you know what I mean? Like it was a different time. There was
should have a separate plastic wrapping that says Fleer on the gum.
I like that. So anyway, we're going to go through a couple of the highlights of the collection right now. And I realized that, some folks, I'm going to skip the comments here. As you can see, he's got some doubles, Danny Ainge, John Bagley, Farrell Bailey. Here we go. I'll try to make it a little bit better for you. Charles Barkley. Nice. Need a minute, Ben?
No, I'm good.
All right. Oh, you know what's awesome, Jason? I hope you're still listening. Yeah, Jason, very cool. Well, you're certainly welcome back anytime, and hopefully COVID will pass sooner rather than later. I was explaining to him some of the spots that he can go to at Rutgers College, for lunch, for a quick bite. So how cool was this? Jason had, I guess, not only heard of Just Collect before, but had seen me live at some point and heard me talk about Benoit Benjamin. And I said, well, there's not that much to know about Benoit Benjamin that I've talked about other than the fact that I've been working on the 86 Fleer basketball signed set for myself personally, and, eventually pass it on to Crosby, or maybe he'll work on it with me as he gets a little bit older and shows some interest. By the way, Lou, separate note, we're going to post it when we're done. We're on either the next to last or the last chapter of the Babe Ruth book.
Oh, nice.
I'm really excited. Oh my goodness. I'm going to try to get Crosby to talk about it with us and tape it.
Oh, the Dan Gutman book? Me and Babe?
Yep, it's adorable.
Yep.
He wants to know if the home run really happened, and he asked if time travel's real. I told him it is real. For those listening, time travel is real until we say otherwise on here. Crosby's only 6.
Plenty of books in that series. Just stay away from the Civil War one.
Yeah, Civil War probably won't be great for Cross.
No.
So anyway, so Jason knew that Benoit. Very cool, Jason. So Jason knew I had talked about Benoit Benjamin before because it's really we're not meaning to pick on Benoit, but effectively, let's just say he ran into a bad string of financial luck following his NBA career, and I don't know that he has a regular place of settlement, and so he's hard to reach in any capacity. And so even if you just want a few dollar autograph, he's all of a sudden become elusive.
Oh.
Even though he's alive and hopefully well, Benoit, we love you. He's become elusive because I think he may not want some other people to find him.
Right. He doesn't.
Potentially.
Wants to keep his location a secret.
Absolutely. So if those of you are out there, if he's working at your local whatever, or he's become a financial analyst somewhere, I'm not going to reveal his location. Just let me know, and I simply want to send you a card for my set. Thank you. Anyway, Larry Bird.
Rocco is an alum of Benoit Benjamin's high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Get a hold of him, Lou. All right. So I know we're flipping fast, but I realize I've always, of course, talking and yapping and taking longer, and I don't want to do a disservice to his collection, but I wanted to get to some of the more fun stuff. Look at the way, I read it's a random card, and it's off-centered. But beautiful color.
Yep.
Sharp corners, just off-centered.
Yeah, given that they weren't sleeved up and everything, very good shape.
At the time, certainly not, no. So we're going to get these out of the way. Try to get moving here and grooving. Can't believe no one else wore the white tee. It's like a big demerit for you. We talked about the Johnny Moore, and I explained to him, it was terrible, but I could see it as soon as I said, oh, do you see that PD? He thought I called him a name. I said, no. The print dot right there.
Yeah.
Of course, Jason, I think after you got to meet me, I like to joke around a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Rocco, Benoit went to your high school. Please put me in touch. We'll do a fundraiser for him. We'll keep him off the grid. We'll get 186 Fleers signed. We'll put him out over time. We'll cut him in on the action.
You know what we'll do? We'll do a Vintage Breaks experience. We'll put a voice changer on him, some sunglasses.
Oh, my God. That's so great, Lou.
No one will know.
Wait a minute. We have a new show.
From an undisclosed location.
It's called The Voice or something, where they do, but it's like the hidden.
The Masked Singer or the
Masked Breaker.
Oh, I like it.
Buy the website. I'm going to buy the website when I'm done. So if you don't own it already, please buy it because I have 187 of them, and I'm not even kidding. My wife asked me what the F I'm doing with them. Chris Mullen. I was going to tell him to go out to get beer so I can have a beer when I'm hanging out with Boggs. I don't even have beers yet, and we're already at this spot of the day feeling like this. Chris Mullen, really nice. So let's get moving here because I feel terrible. It's taking too long with me yapping. All right. So
how come there are no KFC gift certificates in the giveaways on the Boggs set?
I know. We talked. Okay.
Yep.
So we're getting to some of the juice.
Todd's in on the mass breaker. Todd's in.
Great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Listen, Dougie, just remind me afterwards. We got to get the mass breaker. That's going to make a great promo for the National. Oh, my God. Deb, we're going to have an 86 Fleer set break before you can, well, maybe not snap your fingers, but pretty soon.
We'll dress Gary up in a little mask. He'll say eat shit and everyone will know who it is.
All right. So I'm purposely showing one of the worst cards you sold to us, Jason, the 86 Fleer basketball. I said, Jason, you sold us some really nice cards. We appreciated the opportunity, but the checklist was marked, and I teased them about it. So here's the thing. Before we show you the Michael Jordan, which is next, he has both the Jordan rookie and the sticker.
Oh, nice.
The scoop is, and I could totally understand this, Jason, it was very simple, Ben. He didn't want to send it through the mail. Forget about has a chance at X grade, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Just makes people nervous. And at the end of the day, if you're not in that, you can see now why. Like, no matter what I told Jason, there's absolutely no way he was shipping it to PSA. Mm-hmm. He might have driven it to PSA and waited there for a few days with his father and got a hotel room. And I mean, Jason could talk to that, but like, that's how serious they just weren't going to ship.
I mean, Leon Hart, the Pokemon guy, sent his first edition Charizard card that's now worth over $300,000, lost in the mail.
And I don't mean to scare people, but that's a reason why people do like to do business with us in person, Ben.
Yeah.
And not to say that the mail certainly isn't reliable. It's just a little bit slower than usual because everything going on in the world. But, Jason and his father were just very comfortable with the fact they wanted to meet with someone. They had sent a lot of images around. And Jason, of course, you could take this, make sure I'm being as close to accurate as I can. But they're smart. They talk to auction houses, right? They talk to others. And honestly, I feel, even just speaking before we show the Jordan, very, very fortunate and grateful not to only do what I do for a living here with the team at Just Collecting Vintage Breaks, but also to meet folks like Jason and his father. And like I'm a good listener. Mm-hmm. And so as opposed to just tell them what I wanted or what I wanted to do, I heard what they wanted to do. And it was very obvious to me, even after I said to them, you can get the Jordan graded, call me when it's graded, and we'll still buy it from you. No, we don't really want to do that. We really just, rather potentially do something today. And to be fair, if I'd offered him, a bag of peanuts and $1.50, I doubt Jason and his father would have sold the cards. And so it is really interesting that we have someone in the chat who's live with us when we actually just bought his collection the other day. And, it doesn't usually happen like that. So it's super cool. Yep. So check us out, of course, on youtube.com/vintage breaks. Not only right now, well, it's actually Leighton's Loft podcast, but there's a lot going on. Tune in tonight. We got Wade Boggs, Baseball Hall of Famer, Yankee World Series winner, former Red Sox, 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Tampa Bay Ray. We'll give some love to Tampa. Actually, not as a Yankee fan. I don't really give him any love. Yeah. So anyway.
It's a two-time gold glove winner. We got to mention that.
Anyway, Jason was just very adamant that he wanted an expert to look at it and give them their opinion and say, hey, what do you think? And so when I explained to him, and we're about to show it off, that I thought the card, and I'd rather kind of say it first to explain it. I thought the card is a solid 8, definitely a chance. To me, it could be 8.5. That's the same thing. But does it have a chance at a 9? Absolutely. Can you guarantee that it'll grade a 9? No. And I unfortunately can't write a check based on that it may grade a 9, because if it grades an 8 or even an 8.5, it's a big difference. And I'm not able to do that. And so what I did offer Jason and his father, and of course I wouldn't have invited him live on the show to tune into the chat if we weren't sincere. I said, after we get it graded, I'll keep in touch and certainly see what happens. And, hey, God willing, it does grade a 9, which would be unbelievable. I certainly think that we might have a cookie platter or two going out to Jason's, way.
to say the least. But the point is that Jason did not want to grade the card himself. And, maybe in the future, we could have Jason on for like a live, Q&A and ask him some of the things that happened, in person. But ultimately, what happened was, and I realize we're running out of time here, because I want to talk about PSA at least for a few minutes. I made Jason and his father an offer after looking through the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Jason can attest to this. I sat down, I took my notes. The biggest cards, I write down what I think they're going to grade. Of course, if there's upside, I make a note. Then I go and value them. I come back with the information. Before I talk about any offer, I talk about what I think cards are worth, and then I'll make an offer against, that. And so I made Jason and his father an offer for the collection. Basically Jason was very well aware of he could grade the card himself, all that kind of shtick, that we just went over in the process. However, he asked me very simply, could I do X, meaning a counter of what I had offered? And instead of kind of countering again, I basically said, hey, I really do appreciate you making, the trip out here, so on and so forth. He's kind enough to offer to leave us a review, which, of course we appreciate. At a company like Just Collect, it's really important you get, folks to leave you, whether it be a Google review or a Facebook review, because the only thing you have is how you appear in the marketplace and how you conduct yourself. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to show you a Michael Jordan rookie that has not seen the light of day other than from Jason and his family. And Jason, shout out to your mother's Tupperware. By the way, my mother has an amazing Tupperware collection. And I can tell you firsthand that I was living in my Hoboken in my 20s. When I would come home and try to take leftovers, let's say after a holiday or something, she would say, "What are you doing in there taking my Tupperware? You better return it." I'm sorry, Mom, I love you, but that's exactly what happened. And I said, "Mom, you have literally hundreds of freaking pieces of Tupperware. What's the difference?" And my father's literally going like this. Just like, "Barbara, what are you doing? We have plenty of Tupperware." So anyway, Jason's Tupperware was used for a lot better good than what I use the Tupperware for, which is leftover food from my parents' home. And he used it to store his, and Jason, you can clarify in the, Chuggy's about to pee himself. You can clarify, you could clarify with Jason. So anyway, Jason, if I'm not mistaken, you kept the cards in the Tupperware and you kept them in your safety deposit box. I'm not exactly sure at what point you put them in the safety deposit box, but here is the Michael Jordan rookie from 1986 as preserved by Jason and his father and bought by Just Collect, shared with you today on Leighton's Loft, fresh to the market for the first time in over 30 years.
Oh, my God, look at that.
Check that beauty out right there. Very, very cool. Thank you very much for coming down and sharing this with our community, Jason. I'm showing right now. Now, Ben, is that VB on Facebook or on Instagram? Or
VB on Instagram.
VB and IG. Fresh to the marketplace. You do not see Michael Jordans that look beautiful. Of course, we're going to get it graded with our friends at PSA. Michael is getting ready with some of his friends to take a trip to California. I'm not sure if we're going to send them first class or not, but we'll probably do them overnight. And we'll let you know how everything turns out. As I told Jason, who's tuned in right now, his father, and of course, the Break-A-Maniac community and all the folks that read our Just Collect blog, you'll be able to see the full story about the Tupperware 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan collection. Will be on justcollect.com/blog. And one more card I wanted to show off from it. Now, I realize it's not as centered or it's not as nice, but it's still a Michael Jordan rookie sticker. A little bit of toning at the bottom, a little bit off center, but still great. And then behind it, you can see that right there. You could behind it, you can see he's got a bunch of other stickers, which once again, we'll show off on our blog at justcollect.com/blog, but one each of the Michael regular and the sticker will keep everyone posted on the journey. Jason, thank you so much for making the trip out here. as well as the patience you exhibited with me personally, and the confidence you showed in myself and our staff. Real excited about. That's what we hope, Chris. But the thing is, there's like a little bit of, and I didn't want to get into the flaws of it, Chris. There's a little bit of bleeding of the color on the back. And the thing is, I just graded a Jordan that I thought was going to 8. We got a 7. And you just can't really buy, Lou. We've talked about this on there. You just can't buy a card, Ben, graded for that kind of price when the swing is so big.
Right.
And so real pumped about the collection. Excited to meet Jason and his dad, and certainly we'll keep everyone in the loop on the journey.
Should have had Jason on the show. We can have him on the show a couple weeks.
Well, Jason was like not 100% sure. He was going to be able to get off of work, and I gave him the link and such. Anyway, Jason.
We're friendly. Yes. We're friendly. We're nice. We're fun.
Absolutely. So, Jason, thanks for letting us handle your childhood collection, and we'll keep everyone posted. So anyway, J5, is it all right if we run over like 5 minutes? Talk about PSA? All right. He literally just rolled his eyes, Emily, and I wasn't sure if he was actually being facetious, because that's how ridiculous things are here at Vintage Breaks. So anyway, it was really fun sharing the story with you all. Hope you enjoyed the Yankee seat, the Jordan rookie. We just have a good old time here on Leighton's Loft, Lou. Come quite a long way. Working on the new card podcast. We'll keep everyone posted on that. Wade Boggs tonight, 8 o'clock. But now I want to talk about really important hobby news about the raising of PSA prices. So appreciate that my buddy Darren Ravel was kind enough to quote me in a recent article he did. I've been really touting it ever since Nat Turner and his team were rumored to have taken over, and then they were taking over, and then they had to confirm it and reconfirm it. I said, hey, Cody, hopefully you can get us on Dan Lebitard show, so let us know. Thanks. He dropped me a line. It's pretty cool. So anyway, Lou, a lot going on with PSA and pricing, and all I simply said was, hey, my gut tells me they're going to raise prices pretty soon. Send your cards in as soon as you can. So it played out to be true. So I want to talk about a couple other things that I think are going to play out to be true that in no way, shape, or form are self-serving. In fact, they're actually going to hurt me by saying it, because if I share some of the information that I believe, maybe I can't act upon it as much. And you'll see about what I'm going to say in a minute. Right. So first off, let's talk about the PSA price changes, Ben. And I know that you just started last week, but we appreciate you being aboard here. So Benny is very much in tune with the the card market, and of course now in charge of social media for Vintage Breaks, which we're super stoked about as we're growing here as a company, and couldn't do without each and every one of you, Breakamaniacs, and of course our team here in the north, the south, the west, hopefully soon Australia. Stuart, if you're listening, I'm sorry I haven't talked to you, but I'll talk to you soon. So anyway, here's the deal with PSA, right? A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are beside themselves, think there's greed, this and that. I just want to save you some agita. Don't put any emotion into it. You're going to save yourself a lot of energy. Okay. And I'm being practical here. I'm not telling you I'm not upset, because that's not what I'm saying. And I don't want to tell you how I feel personally. I want to give you an idea of, by the way, 35 spots in the Wade Boggs event, definitely going to sell out. So jump on in. I'm telling you the reality of it. The reality of it is PSA's cards generally sell for the most money. Okay. If you have a super expensive card, my guess is, Sam, you're still going to have your card graded by PSA. But if you are the kind of person, Sam, that sent your, I'm making it up, 5th year Wade Boggs card in, your Pokemon collection from 2007 that you just loved from being a kid, your cards you traded with your fellow campers when you went to Camp Ben that aren't really worth a lot of money, but the sentimental attachment that you have from them, you want to get them slabbed, right? I can tell you undoubtedly those types of cards will be submitted less to PSA. They're too expensive. Yep. But that's not to fret. You have other companies like SGC, like Beckett, I don't even know, honestly, all the companies, CSG or CGS. There's a couple other new companies, and I want to do a disservice to them because I really don't know much about them. I'll learn, I'm sure, as my journey continues. Harry was talking about one of them in our Vintage Breaks Buy Slow Trade group. HGA, which I know is pretty new. So here's a scoop. I want people to understand 2 distinct ways to think about it right now. Ben, if you have an expensive card, get it graded by the company you think that will bring you the most money, regardless of the cost. Okay? Doesn't make you happy if the cost went up. It just is.
My 2003 Topps Matrix with LeBron, Carmelo, and Dwayne Wade 100% still going to PSA.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it'll cost you maybe some more money.
Yeah.
But now at the $20 level, people are saying, I'm not going to grade the card, my 5th-year Wayne Tallison, which, by the way, I'm bringing up tonight. The Wayne Tallison game he's bat, former Yankee from the dreaded 80s. Like, they just could do nothing right. But anyway, my advice is this, is the cards that you're going to grade for the money, grade it with the company that gives you the best return. And the cards that you simply just want to grade for posterity, for sentimental reasons, for you just want to, honestly, for shits and giggles, right? You're going to have to be careful, Lou. You're not going to be able to pay $20 a card.
Right.
Find the new service that's out that maybe is offering a $6 or a $10 and give them a shot. Because if you're not doing it for the value, Lou, and you're doing it for the love of collecting, then I think we're all going to be okay.
But let me ask this question, because I'm this guy and I'll be this guy. And I know Chris Coe's listening, so I'm going to send him on a little assignment. The pricing for cards that you're talking about that PSA will draw the most money for, do we know tangibly that there's a difference in the price depending on where the card is graded?
Well, of course there is. Absolutely.
Yeah. So a card not graded at PSA and a Jordan rookie not graded at PSA is going to be worth less on the market than a Jordan rookie graded on PSA.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Then
So-
yes, maximize the money. It's right.
Absolutely. But the point is, Lou, you don't have to fret on the lower end.
Right.
If you're someone who wants to grade cards still, you're going to be able to do that. All right. So this is the last thing I wanted to cover. And I really did plan to spend more time on this, but apparently, I just ran out of time. I'm trying to read all the comments here. Just give me a second. Yep, Andrew, we are looking forward to it as well. So, Kev, you stole my thunder. PSA is going to come out with specials. So, for example, right now they have a 1960 special where you can grade your cards for $9. Be prudent. Stay alert. We're actually going to try to, I'll talk about in-house here, Ben, but whether it be yourself or Dougie, I'd like to be able to be proactive to the community and let people know, hey, FYI, there is a good special going on grading right now with our friends at PSA. They're running a $9. Go through those collections that, your 60s cards that maybe you've been on the fence for, and now's the time to get those in there. So we're certainly going to do that for folks. But this was the last piece of information that I want to share today in regards to grading. And you heard it here first, and I'm sure other people are talking about it, but I haven't had the time to consume as much content as I would have liked in the last few days. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, I'm sure, on social media about the PSA price increase and such. But you're speaking firsthand to someone who not only grades a lot of cards, Lou, but I buy a tremendous amount of cards, and I buy a tremendous amount of wax, and I buy a tremendous amount of collections. You're talking firsthand like how it's going to impact me. So I want to explain to you beyond how, let's say when we were talking with, Jason and his father. So here's the deal. If you're a true collector, if you're a speculator, if you're an investor, if you're anything in between right now, mark my words. And by the way, Vintage Breaks is not only expanding, we're hiring for different roles. You can always drop me a line, Leighton, Leighton at justcollect.com. If you don't mind putting that in there, Lou, I appreciate it. I had said to someone earlier, Ben, right now, the play is, especially if you don't have a lot of money and you're budget oriented, look at the graded cards that you can buy for approximately $20 to $25 and under. I don't really care when they're from. If you can buy a 1989 Fleer Patrick Ewing for $12 and they're now charging $20 to grade a card, I'm not suggesting that you're making $8. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the likelihood of grading costs going down in the near future with PSA is very, very slim. Other grading companies are also raising their prices, and turnaround's been horrible or really slow. So there's a huge opportunity if you have the time and the wherewithal. I'm actually willing to pay someone to do this. It's part of the reason why I was bringing this up today. Beyond that, we're expanding here in our office. We're looking to expand, like I said, maybe as far as Australia. Hopefully we'll work it out, as far as breaking goes. But I literally would like to have someone per parameters buy for me on eBay or buy for yourself on eBay. That's why I'm sharing with you, right? You could buy right now stuff I might buy later. So clearly this is not going to help me. If anything, it's hurting me, but I'm trying to give you folks value. We got, I don't know, Lou, how many people we have watching live now, roughly?
50 plus.
Yeah, 50 plus. So, people are kind enough to give us their time and tune in. So I want to make sure that we're providing value to them about a hobby that I love. And I just know right now that I can see it. The amount of cards that are available that are graded for $6 to $20 that I used to be able to pick off and just buy in bulk and like use them for giveaways or the cheaper cards in a hit random or whatever the case may be.
Right.
They're disappearing. And so what's going to happen is supply is going to run out and prices are going to go up pretty soon there too, which is lagging behind a little bit. And so to folks out there who are collectors, to folks out there who are investors and hybrids, do yourself a favor, check out the current market. I think you'll be happy.
So the premise here is with the price of grading going up in those card sets, the price of the cards has to eventually rise.
Listen, I don't like to guarantee things, but I'm telling you, I can already see it happening. I was pretty much spot on with PSA and I felt pretty good. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is 100% happening. It's happening now, so it's going to happen.
This is the $15 minimum wage argument right here. It's the same principle.
Exactly.
When the cost of doing business, when the cost of trading these cards goes up, the cost of the cards is going to go up. And as you said, with people buying them up, it becomes a supply issue as well. It's a double whammy on the value of the card.
Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate the comments. Cody, thanks again. Let us know if you can get us hooked up. That'd be awesome. What up, Chef Daddy? What's up? Who else is on here? I'm trying to see. Cuff Daddy and Chef Daddy. They're like brothers.
Jeff's here. Cuffman's here.
I like that.
Todd's here. Cody's here.
Very cool.
Rocco, everybody's here.
Absolutely. Well, my pleasure, Dev. We're hopefully going to have my brother-in-law joining us in the future. I'm trying to convince him. I want to do like a weekly basketball, show where he's going to hop on, whether it be on the Loft or other. And, he's really in tune to the modern basketball game. Maybe not the card market. So I feel like, we could be his yin to, our yang. If he's the basketball guru, we know the cards. He knows the game.
Yep.
Put it together. How you doing?
Excellent.
Oh, look at that. The NBA Dev Velements. By the way, his name is Dev. Oh, I love it. That's hysterical. All right, folks. I could talk for hours. I'm going to go. Let J5 take over. I'm sure we have a lot of stuff to break. Thanks again for everyone who's tuning in to Leighton's Loft today. Hope you all learned something and or had a good time.
And Wade Boggs tonight at 8 o'clock. Make sure you come back.
Yep, absolutely.